And so I'm going to share with you a story of a child that can see that people are hungry, and she's doing something about it. So welcome, Sanya Pirani. Thank you for your courage and your strength and your vision and your ability to teach us the eyes of a child. Thank you.
I found something I care about. I want to do something about it. I'm not different. I'm just like a normal 5th grader. If I remember correctly, I was almost a 3rd grader. One night, I peeked into my mother's office. She was watching a YouTube video of kids suffering due to war. And I saw a young girl with torn clothes, no shoes, and immense sadness and fear in her eyes. I was sad, angry, and worried for her. I ran away to my room because her sad eyes told me, "Help me." Later, my mother came to my room and asked me, "Sanya, what is bothering you?" I told her that I saw the young girl in the YouTube video. Was it real? Why did she look so sad and helpless? My mother reluctantly explained that the girl perhaps lost her family, might not have anyone to care for her. I immediately asked, "Why? Mother, didn't you tell me that God loves everyone?" My mother said, "Of course. So why are some people extremely poor and others are not?" I asked. My mother said God created people like you and others who are passionate about helping God's children. That night, my mother's words became real to me. I decided I needed to do something big to help others. Now the big question was, what should I do that would not only have a big impact, but also inspire my friends to collaborate with me? At a very young age, I used to worry about kids who didn't have a mother and father. Who feeds them? Who gives them clothes, especially in winter? Who keeps them warm at night? At this point, my worries were doubled. All I could think is how I could help children like that girl in the YouTube video. So, the next morning, I woke up early and started Googling ways to help. I came across the Feed My 7 Children website that showed how to feed 100 people for 1 year. Boy, I was thrilled. I couldn't wait to tell my mother. When I told my mother about my plans, she said, "Why don't you start with a family or a child first?" Then I looked at my mother and said, "Didn't you say I could reach for the star and me?" My mother knew at this point nothing could stop me. I had to come up with a master plan to run my project. First, I came up with a mission statement. That is, I strongly believe that every child deserves basic human rights like food, shelter, clothes, safety, and education. Second, I knew I needed a smart team to help me keep going. So I found 4 productive team members, and they're still my team members today. Third, my mother and I created a website and my Reach for the Star and Me Facebook page to convey my message. Fourth, I needed to be a great role model on my team and how to productively help others. My parents rewarded me for my great initial work by giving me $100 to buy an American Girl doll, which I really wanted. But then, Mother Teresa's words rang loudly in my ears saying, "Live simply so others may simply live." I decided to change my course and buy 100 M&M2s to sell for $5 each. I made $500 in less than a month. If I may fast forward our story 1 year later, I have now increased my goal to feed 700 people in Haiti for 1 year. That means I have to raise $56,210. So far, I have raised over $25,000. Perhaps you're wondering why I changed my goal to feed 700 people instead of 100 people. Well, Martin Luther King Day 2015, I was invited to a bank for a check presentation. I was thinking they might give me a couple of $1,000. But then when I went there with my parents, there were more people than I expected. There were people there wearing formal clothes, and there were people like my mother's company's president, bank board members, the Feed My Starving Children president, and a local newspaper reporter. Talk about intimidating. The bank board members were so inspired by my story, they all ended up giving $7,250 together that morning. I felt Lord's blessing in His full glory. In the same year, December 2015, I was appointed to be the ambassador for CAP agency in Dakota, Scott, and Cabot County. I made projects like the Bookwork for Help project and Compassion Jar project. Compassion Jars holds donations for businesses, individuals, and families. My two most current projects are School Bags for Kids, which is where I'm sewing at least 100 school bags for local kids in need. My second most current project is Crop Walk. When Pastor Paula came to my house to explain about Crop Walk, and as well as church road services, I immediately agreed to partner with them, because feeding and educating God's children is part of my mission. Just remember, it all started with the girl in the YouTube video. As well desire and determination to help others in need. I reflect now, did I make a measurable impact in people's lives? Why am I sharing my work with you all? Because I would like you to know that I mean business. My age should not stop me to believe the power of one. I would like an opportunity to collaborate and leverage your connections for my local and global project. Now the big question is, will you take the first step? I'd like to share some quotes from the Bible and Quran. Proverbs 22:9 says, "The generous will themselves be blessed, for they share their food with the poor." 57:18, Quran says, "For those who give in charity, men and women, and alone to God, a beautiful loan, it shall be increased, manifold, to their credit, and they shall have, besides, a liberal reward." Now, before I end, I'd like you all to stand up. I would like you to raise your right hand and say, "I care about people in need."
I care about people in need.
Please sit down. Someone once told me, be afraid of society who do not care. At the end, I'd like to thank Pastor Rob for giving me this opportunity to speak, and all the members who will be my potential partners. I'll have some flyers in the back that show you how you can help, and I'll be happy to answer questions. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you for teaching us that with hard work, with faith, with determination, the ability to dream, we can make sure that others are being fed.